enjoy that. Okie dokie, guys. Let's actually start lying down on our back today. Take a second and find a place where you can melt. Go to a position that just feels right for you. So sometimes it might be irritating to your hips to have your legs extended, in which case you could bend your knees. If you've got supports handy, it might be nice to put something up underneath your knees. Just support the part of your body that feels heavy or like there's too much tension to be that close to the floor. Give yourself that extra little bit of support. Close your eyes. Notice if your neck is crunched up in the back with your chin too far extended, and neutralize your chin, neutralizing the back of your neck. Wiggle your toes. Bring your awareness to your feet. See if you can find a steady pattern of breath in and out gently through your nose while you let your awareness drift all the way down to your feet. Start to flex your feet, pointing your feet, and maybe moving your feet a little bit from side to side, moving at the ankles. Take a big breath in, reach your arms up above your head. Maybe there's a yawn there for you. Stretch from fingers to toes. And then let yourself melt back down into the mat. Bend your knees, putting your feet on the floor. Bring your awareness to your legs. Let your hands be out to the sides and gently toss your knees to the left. And then to the right. And if it feels normal and nice for your head to kind of roll side to side the opposite direction, you can certainly do that. I have my eyes closed, so it's just like a slow waking up. Taking knees gently side to side. Eventually bring your feet back to the floor. Knees are straight up towards the ceiling. Feet on the floor, knees bent. Bring your hands so that they hold on to the edges of your mat, not tightly, just as a place where you have an anchor. And slowly, gently press through your heels, lift up your hips, bring yourself into bridge pose, hips up towards the sky. And as you're lifting your hips, feel the opportunity for you to shift your weight, pushing through your heels more into your upper shoulders, and maybe able to like rotate your arm bones a little bit so that they draw in underneath your back just a little bit more. You might feel this more in the backs of your legs. It might feel tired, or you just might feel the activation of your muscles through your glutes, your low back, your legs. Take one more breath here, and then gently lower all the way down. Lift your arms up above your head, take them back behind you, and reach through your fingers. Big stretch, reaching back, even though your hips are on the floor. If it's okay for your shoulders and your neck, keep your arms like that. Palms are up and they're extended back behind above your head, and press up into your bridge pose once more, feeling how then it's a little bit more effortless to get your weight to push back into those shoulders. You could even reach through your fingers. They slide back behind you just an inch or two, pushing up maybe just a bit more. Think of this like it was your pelvis is light and it's lifting you up. Breathe in. Can you use your exhale to coordinate the lowering down of your hips until you settle? Bring your arms back down by your side. Extend your legs out long. We'll do half banana, so just the top half of our body to make that stretch. So reaching your arms up above your head, grabbing your left hand to your right wrist, or maybe going a little deeper, grabbing opposite elbow. Feel your hip bones glued to the mat. Keep them there like your hips are pointing straight up, and just lift up your shoulders and your head and arch your body over to the right. Land that right elbow back down on the mat. Your left elbow may be slightly lifted, and turn your gaze to the right. So if we were standing, right, you can bring your feet a little closer together as if you were standing. Think as if you were standing and we were doing that moon side bend, which is arms are up, leaning towards the right. But here you're in the position you would be standing. You just happen to be connected to the floor. If you're not breathing because you got your lungs kind of in a funny place, just go ahead, take a breath anyway. Good. Everybody move on your exhale. So find the breath in. And on your exhale, release your hands, come back up to center. Shrug your shoulders a few times, even though you're on the mat. And then let your hands drift up above your head. Take your right fingers, grasping your left wrist, or opposite elbows, this time right hand kind of reaching first. And then keep your hips right where they are. Lift up your shoulders in your head. Move yourself over so you're just like a candy cane, right? Moving that top half over to the left. Your left shoulder is on the mat. Your right shoulder, right elbow might be a little bit up in the air, but your right hip is down. And again, imagine the awareness you would have if you were standing and then you did that stretch, you were leaning over. How you feel this not only through your waist, but maybe through the lower part of your right hip and back, and through your right shoulder. Breathe in. Good, move on your exhale, come back up to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Grab the fronts of your legs, start to find some movement, a little bit side to side. Just rocking out that spot on your back and shifting the weight shoulder to shoulder. Take a happy baby. Your knees are bent. Reach for one or both of the outsides of your feet. And if you're not quite there yet, because we haven't done anything to warm up the back of your legs, then you can just keep your knees bent, reach for the back of your thighs. Rocking a little bit here. Can you find that little place where it's like as you tip from side to side, you're tipping over just a little bit, tip, tip, back and forth. Side to side. Good, release your feet, let your feet drift to the floor, but this time soles of your feet together, knees are bent. Reclined bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees out to the side. Take the feet away from you if that is more comfortable, making more of a wide diamond shape. And then find something for your hands. So you can rest your hands on your heart and on your belly, or I'm gonna rub my palms together, create a little friction, a little heat, and then rest my palms right over my eyes. really blocking everything out for a moment. So rubbing the hands together, creating a little bit of heat, and then resting gently your palms right over your eyes, blocking out the light, feeling the heat that you've generated from your palms, feeling that on your face. See if wherever you are, you can slow down your breath here, really slow. Let's breathe in together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause at the top of your breath. Exhale out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your hands. Find your way, rocking and rolling, maybe a few times, maybe just once. Limbering up your back, rock and roll, and make your way up to a seat. Feels kind of silly, but that rock and roll on your back can kind of make you feel a little bit more limber. Take your feet out in front of you. If sitting like this is hard to get this L shape, see how I'm able to sit straight up and down? Elevate your hips. Not too high, but just put the blanket or something soft underneath, okay? Particularly if you notice that you need to bend your knees in order to kind of sit up well, then let that be a place where your legs will be able to be more straight if your hips get up higher. I don't have my blanket handy here today, but you're with me. Good, Linda. She's grabbing her props. All right, shrug those shoulders back. Take a big breath in. Reach your arms up. This is staff pose. You're like literally like an L shape. You're a 90-degree angle, sitting up really well. Feel your shoulders draw down. Feel your core activate. Make your toes flex so much that your heels might even lift the tiniest bit up off the mat. Now, can you keep all this core integration as you fold forward, leaning forward? Notice that this is like really active through the core. Try not to collapse. Just find a place where you're suspended here, reaching. Tailbone is pushing back. And gently trying to bring your chest more to your thighs without collapsing through your arms. Good. Toes are really active. Amazing, right? All right, breathing here. One more breath. Reach through your fingers and then just soften everything. Let your hands come down. Find an anchor for your hands on the backs of your knees, maybe to your feet, your ankles, your calves. And if you have your strap handy, it always is there to pick up and use to extend your arms. And if you, in fact, I want you to have a little leverage here. Look at you, Alana, reaching your toes. All right, so I want you to have a little leverage here. So find a place where either you're using your strap on your feet, or if you've got your feet, use the body, upper body strength that you have to just pull a little bit forward. So if, again, we're kind of doing all the things we might do standing up with the support of the floor. So if you were in a forward fold, what would you do? You'd soften your knees a little bit. Your feet would be on the floor, and you could use your upper body to pull your chest toward your thighs. Let your head hang just like when you're in the standing forward fold. Let's take 3 slow breaths here. Breathe in. Breathe out. All the busy, all the turmoil, all the good, all the bad, all the doesn't need to be judged from September. Keep what fills you up. Forget what brought you down. And be here now. We're in a new month. New chapter of our book. Good. Release your feet, slide your hands all the way back up. Let's cross at our ankles, make our way to our hands and knees. And this is your first time bearing some weight through your shoulders and your hands. Let your chest drop. Feel the support of your arm bones as they stack. And it feels kind of intuitive, I think, as we start to get familiar with tabletop, to just go ahead and you find that cat-cow pose. You start to arch your back, tucking your chin, breathing out. And then taking that deep sip of air, inhale as you lift your chin, drop your belly, feel your tailbone shift positions as it pushes up towards the sky. And you take your time, feel your space, feel your body moving. Forgive the parts of you that don't feel great. And just find a little movement here in your cat-cow. Good work. Slowly drop your hips back to your child's pose. Settling in. So maybe shifting your chest a little bit side to side. You've had an opportunity to warm up your arms just a little bit with the reaching, so maybe you can get into this really deep stretch right here, breathing here. And ultimately drop your forehead somewhere. If you need to bring something to make the floor come up to you, do that. You could always use your hand. Here in your child's pose, I invite you to think about, as we start a new month, what you liked about being a child. What part of you was excited? You know, little kids get excited about things, little things. I remember I was so excited about the little toys that came in cereal boxes. Like so excited. Equivalent excited if you told me like, hey, there's $10,000 in that cereal box today. So, just think back to when you were a child. You're here in this child's pose. It's easy for kids to get down on the floor and make themselves into a little ball. What were you excited about? What kinds of things did you get excited about when you were little? And perhaps we can remember how to get that kind of excitement again about something that we have now. Something little that from an adult's perspective seems so minor or trivial. But in the mind and the body of a child, it's so exciting. Let's take a big breath in. Move on your exhale to your downward facing dog and have your block handy. So if you need to grab it and bring it closer to you, have it nearby. Transition to your downward dog and make this again about finding length through the backs of your legs, good straight arms, pushing through all 10 fingers. So those fingers are spread out nice and wide on the mat, pushing them away. Listen to your body, how it feels to bend one knee, maybe coming up on the opposite toes. So it's like a big pedal, pressing the one straight leg back, bending the other. And then shifting your weight, doing that again. But trying to keep your shoulders level, arms both engaged. And what does it feel like then if you go up on your tippy toes, hug in everything, and then drive your heels back down and together at the same time? Does that feel stronger? Does it feel more aligned? Does it feel just wrong? You're just exploring what it feels like to be in this upside down pose, bearing weight equally between your feet and your hands. Good. We're going to lift our right leg up. So you have the option now to go ahead and drop to your left knee if you'd like. Get settled there. And then we'll all take our right leg up. And you're still pushing through your hands no matter where you are. If you're in down dog, you can bend your knee and open through your hip. If you're on your hands and knees, if you're on your left knee, you can still bend that knee, maybe even dropping into your left forearm and allow you to get a little opening through your hip so left elbow would come to the mat. Good. All right, everybody, step your right foot to your right hand, dropping your back knee. Take your block and put it so it's in line with your right foot, but not close to it. So it's kind of like where your left hand is going to go, but it's in line with the foot. So it's not up ahead or back here. It's in the same plane as your foot. And put your left hand on that block. Tuck the toes on your left foot. Squeeze this booty. Hug your belly in, lift your back knee. You're pushing through that block on the left hand. Good. Okay, great. Now, turn your right shoulder up and take your right arm straight up towards the sky. Good, so you should feel this both strength and a little bit of challenge in the flexibility in your right leg. And then bring some tension into your right shoulder as you find that place where you're opening a lot, pushing through your left hand and push through your left toes. So you're opening through your left leg, really using that leg to help hold you up. Good. Excellent, everybody. Breathe here. And then let's come down gracefully, bringing our hand down, dropping your knee, bringing it all down. Good, right here. You've got your block. Move your forearms or your hands to your block. Find yourself in lizard for a moment here. So I've got my forearms on the block, my right foot bent right underneath me. If you want to elevate your left knee, it might help you there if you're struggling. That's it. Good, Linda. Yep, put that behind you. That's worse? Okay. You could also put your block on the higher height. So take your block upright. Okay, and then you don't have to lean so far. You could just put your hands on that higher setting of the block. Good, guys. Really good. All right, let's go back the way we came. So putting your hand on the block on the left. It's in line with your foot, okay, in the same plane. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee. Good. Now, your challenge is to get steady, so bring your feet in a little bit more in line so you can kind of bring your back toes over. I want you to try to float your left foot up to meet your right. All right, so I was back here, and push off that back foot, try to step it together. If that's not happening for you, guess what? You can just make your way to the top of the mat, no problem. We're right here, and it's gonna feel so good to stand up. Here we go, all the way up. Oh, it's the first time you're on your feet. Stand all the way up. Reach your arms up, take a big stretch. Up towards the ceiling, we'll do the other side in a moment. Let's lean side to side, just like when we were on the mat. Feet are about a fist apart, and grab your right wrist, lean towards the right. Inhale, come back up to center. Switch your grip. Exhale, lean towards the left. Letting your right hip really jut out, push that away. Good, take a big forward fold. Maybe stopping on the way down and sagging all the way down. Softening your knees, breathe here. Letting your head hang, letting your arms hang. Good, now remember when we were seated with our legs out in front of us and we made that L shape? I want you to make the same L shape, but now your feet are on the floor. So straighten your legs, hug your belly in, bring yourself to a flat back, And then take your arms straight out in front of you. So remember when we were sitting and we had our arms up above our head, that means your arms are parallel to your ears, right? And I'm not shifting way back in my booty. I'm trying to get into that L shape, lots of core and back work right here just to hold this position. Good and strong, good. Breathe, reach through your fingers and soften everything. Fold, come all the way back down to your hands and knees. Take a couple cat-cows here. So we're back here in the cat-cow on your hands and knees. And this is your space. So even if I say just do cat-cows and you're feeling like, gosh, I want to circle my hips or drop to one elbow, whatever feels right, just move around. That's part of what I think yoga is all about, is that you start to actually have that type of awareness in your space, concentrating on your body, that you really don't have when you're looking at the computer or you're driving or you're dealing with other people, etc. All right, friends. Let's exhale back, tucking our toes to downward facing dog. Let your head be soft. So not holding your tension in your head, not trying to look between your thumbs, just jaw is slack, head is soft. What's not soft is the energy from your fingertips up into your arm bones. That's really integrated into this V shape. What's also not soft is the energy from your feet. Like my feet are really active and holding me up. And by shifting and pushing back, I'm trying to distribute the weight between my hands and my feet evenly. So a V, an upside down V, rests equally on those 2 points, not one more than the other. So if you need to adjust your stance, think about trying to get into that upside down V where the weight rests evenly. All right, we're gonna take our left foot forward. So if you wanna go ahead and drop your right knee down, you can, and then we're all gonna lift left leg up. So you might be on your right knee, you might be in down dog with your left leg lifted. Everybody bend your knee, open through your hip. You might find this is easier for those of you who are on your knee, you can drop to your right forearm and it'll help you to open through that hip a little bit because you can drop your weight into your right arm. Okay, friends, everybody step your left foot forward and through. Drop your back knee and find your block. Put your block on the same plane as your left foot, all right, where your right hand is gonna go. So it's in the same line as my foot. Good. Pushing weight here, nice, strong, straight arm. So check in that you've got that block in the right place. You should have shoulder, elbow, wrist. Good. Tuck your toes on your right foot. For some of you, this is tough, and this is a little bit hip flexors as well as leg strength. So just notice that, and we'll keep practicing. All right, pushing through your right hand, lift your right knee. Good. Once you get there, feel the weight as much as you can equal between both feet, and then take your left arm up towards the sky. So this is the strong part, right? We have to have the yin and the yang, the strong that goes with the soft. So let yourself be in the strong part. We don't want it to all be soft. If all you could eat was whipped cream all day long, you'd get sick of that. So it can't all be soft. We have to have the strong also. Looking up towards your left thumb. Reaching here, pushing away with your right arm. One more breath, good, and let's gracefully come back down, bringing your hand down, gently dropping your back knee. Move your block towards the center of your mat, make your lizard pose here. You might wanna have something underneath your back knee, and let your right knee slide back a little bit if you can. So rather than being in this tabletop, right, and I have to hunch up through my back, if you let it slide back a little bit. Good. Breathe right here. And I've got my hands on the block. If you're really struggling, you don't need to struggle. You could just make an adjustment, right? You could just bring your body up and lean into this lunge right here. But if you're in a place where you can kind of stay in that little moment of discomfort, being childlike in the way that we approach things, so not being so needy to stay in a place where we feel perfect all the time, then just be okay being like this. Just one more moment. Let's come out the way we came in. Put your right hand back on the block, so moving that block back into that plane. Okay, this is the part, be willing to try. Tuck your toes on your right foot, hug in, so squeeze in, use this core like it's pulling you up, lift your back knee. Good, now this is like all torso strength. We're gonna bring your feet a little bit more in line, so scoot your left foot a little bit more inward, and then push off your back toes, float your foot to the top of the mat. Nice, good everybody. Nice big forward fold, and then pressing through all 10 toes, push and rise all the way up. Oh, sweep up, good work. Opening through your back, let's take that stretch again, reaching up and then grabbing your right wrist. Keep your feet planted and bend at the waist. Oh, lean towards the right. How's everybody feeling? If you were like a dish, if you were a dish towel, we've just gone like this, right? All the ways we've wrung you out with a dish towel. Go the other way, guys. Grab the left wrist, lean towards the right. Dirty water from September, goodbye. Fresh, clean streams, like where Linda went camping. That's what we want, right? Come back up to center. We're gonna do tree and dancer. So now you're on your feet. We'll start with tree. Stand on your right foot. Take those shoulders back. Good strong stack of your hips right over your feet, and draw your left foot up. Remember, you have options. You could be here, you could be here, or you could bring this foot all the way up. Or some of you might want to be more juicy and see about, Chris, I know you've been trying this one, bringing your ankle across to the opposite hip. All right, you try. Good. And we're thinking about this left knee opening to the left. So we're all wobbly today. What's going on, huh? First day of the month. Like, stay here. Okay, left knee going back, shoulders nice and wide, hugging in through this midsection. It might be the first of the month. We need to just stay right here. Maybe you can take a growing tree, maybe. And the worst that can happen is you lean and you need to fall down, right? I don't know what's going on. We're all wobbly today.
Too much whipped cream.
That's what it is. All right, hands through heart center. Bring your hands back down right here. Hold your gaze for a moment, looking down at your fingers. Good. Set your left foot down. Stretch out your feet. Taking the tops of your toes to the mat, circling out your ankles. About a year ago, it was wet in our garage, and I was like walking around. I never wear shoes, so I was walking around. You'll find the more yoga that you do, the less shoes you wear. Have you found that already? Like you become like accustomed to being in bare feet and you're like, oh, I'm good, right? So like never wear shoes in my house or outside except if I'm going to public places. So, but I was walking through the garage and I like slipped on the water, you know, and like went through the air and like went boom right on my bum, right? Like, you know, because it was like wet in the garage. Let's do tree on the other side. Stand on your left foot. I swear I bounced because I have like all this muscle in my booty from yoga, right? And flexible tissues in my hips and ankles. And really, I would have probably really hurt myself had it not been for yoga. But it was like I was a ball. Like I was like a tennis ball. Like I slipped and I like, I mean, it hurt, but like I just like bounced on my bum and then kind of like bounced back up. And I was like, okay.
I think I would have bounced for a different reason.
So it was good. So when you feel that challenge in your ankle or in your glutes, right? No, it serves you some purpose in preventing some injury. Really, you step off a curb wrong, and if you have like no ankle strength, that's when you like, you know, you get that big sprain and so forth. But here you are standing on one leg. It's really good for strengthening those ligaments and tendons that support your bones. All right, everybody's tree looks awesome. Maybe this side might be a little better. Let's roll our hands up. Being mindful that you're not taking shoulders up towards ears, but you're dropping those shoulder blades together. Good. Gently bring your hands together to heart center. Bring your gaze to your fingers for a moment. Take a breath. Good. And then release all the way down. You can take a nice side facing forward fold if that feels good, or just circle out your ankles and your feet. Just a little reset either way. All right, everybody, hands on your hips. Find your flat back and then stand all the way up. Okay, dancer. Who remembers what dancer looks like? This is what Alana. No. That's a good one, but all right, ready? Hold your left arm out like you're holding a tray. Take your right arm up towards the sky. Good. Standing on your right foot, bend your left knee, and then reach back, grab that foot. This is the part where some of you being like, oh, I need something to hang on to. Maybe you do, but maybe you don't. Come on, Linda, you almost got it. Oh, there you go. All right. Now, this right hand could be your balancing hand. So if you're like, all right, I definitely need something, then your right hand is going to hold you up and you got your left foot right here. Some of you may want to just stay right here and practice just feeling this if it feels very intense through your left leg. Some of you may be ready to find this transition forward. Push your left foot back first, then let your body lean and your right arm reach as your left leg pushes back and up. So I'm not leaning forward first, you'll fall. Push your foot back first, all right? And you could have your right hand holding you up, or you could just stay kind of low. Take your right hand, if you're in this balance, straight out in front of you and look over your thumb. If you fall out, you know how to get back in. Don't get irritated, just be. But think of like, you know, you have a sight, and the sight is your right arm extended right in front of you. You're looking at your thumbnail on your right thumb, and don't lean first. Be like, I have to lean now because my foot is pushing me into that forward position. Good. All right, everybody, let's come all the way back down. Reset, breathe in. Hands through heart center, fold. Sway a little side to side. Just windmill it out here. All right, let the experience go from that side. Get ready for the other side. Draw your body all the way back up. Good. We're going to stand on our left leg. So take your right arm out like a T. Left arm up towards the sky. Hug in. So if you're all slack in the belly, then how are you going to hold yourself up on one leg? Hug in. Now bend your right knee. Try to find your foot. And that's step one, right? To do that takes a lot of coordination and balance just to be able to do that. So be patient. There you go. Good. All right. If you need support with your left hand, go find it. Think about pushing your right foot into your right hand. Push in, and then you gently start to lean so that your left hand extends right out in front of you and you're looking over that left thumb. Awesome job, guys. Good, Marco. Push that foot into the hand so you really get the resistance there. Good, Terry. Don't give up. Great, Linda. Good. I know. All right. If it was all easy, we'd all do it on day one. Let go. Let it go. Let it go. Shake it out. Okay. One more time each side. Ready? We won't make such a big deal about it. We'll just try it. One more time on each side.
Okay.
Ready? Right arm up, left arm out. Find your left foot with your left hand. Be steady on your right leg. Move your body in a plane, bringing your left ankle up as you reach your right arm forward. Really great. Breathe in, and then gracefully come back up and out, and just switch sides. Left arm up, right arm out. Good. High fives. All right, ready? Breathe in, reach through your left arm, reach with your right hand, grab your right foot. Create tension as your right foot pushes your arm back. So your right arm has to get straight because your right foot is pushing into that foot, and let yourself lean. Hold your sight on your thumb. Beautiful, Alana. Reach. Good, Michaela. Breathe in. Excellent job, everybody. Let it go. Good work. High fives.
It got easier.
God, practice does that. That's awesome. Yay. Guys, take a big breath in. Come to the top of your mat. Reach up. Smiles on our faces. Exhale. Fold all the way forward. Good work. Find your flat back. Step back to your high plank. All right, we're going to make our way down to our belly, but if you've got a little fire left, let's do a side plank on each side real quick. You could have your knee down. So if you have your knee down, your left knee would come down. Peel your right arm up. Maybe lift your right leg. Otherwise, side plank, drop your drop your ankles to the left. Reach your right arm up. Awesome. Now everybody come back around. If you're on your knees, shift your weight to your right knee. Pivot, peel your left arm up, lift your left leg. If you're in side plank, your heels drop to the right. And whenever you get to side plank, you're always growing, so you can start being like, okay, what else do I have here? What else do I have? Everybody good. Come back around from your hands and knees, lower down all the way to the mat. Drop onto your belly. Take a moment here, cradle your head in your hands and just breathe and rest. So we started out laying on our back, now we're the other way. So let this front side of your body melt into the mat. Where's your breath? Take some big breaths. Let's just let the transition between the months and the seasons, let them just wash over us for a little bit of time. And then, like when you're washing something, it becomes more clear. What's underneath becomes more clear. We will know what our intention is supposed to be for this month if we can just be patient and allow ourselves to go through the transition. Take your chin to the mat, bring your hands out off the edges of your mat. Put your fingers down, tent your palms. So you've got that cupcake underneath your hands. It's Eduardo's birthday cupcake. And press your elbows up a little bit. Press through the pads of your fingers. Lift your chest. So big stretch through your back. Keep your gaze down. So it's kind of like I have 90-degree arms, wide collarbone. Good. Pushing up and then lower all the way down. Good work. Drop your left elbow to the floor, but keep your right elbow up with that right finger tented. Let your feet be relaxed. Turn your gaze to the right, and then we're going to push up and look more to the right. So getting a little bit more opening through your neck. Push up and look to the right. Good. Getting all the way into your low back. Good. Lower all the way back down. Drop your right elbow to the floor. Tent your left fingers. Take that hand out a little bit. Lifting up your left elbow and lift up. Keep your right elbow down. Turn your gaze to the left, like you're pushing through your left fingers to lift your left shoulder. And lower all the way down. Come back up neutral, center, both fingers tented. Now we'll do that one more time for center, right, and left. So find a place where your feet feel neutral. Hands are right off the edges of your mat and push up. Push up your chest this time. You might get a little bit more lift, more opening because your back is here. A little bit more open, pushing away. My hands aren't on the floor. My fingers are tented. Good. Lower all the way down. Drop your left elbow. Keep your right fingers on the floor. Right elbow lifted. Gaze to the right. Lift up. Feel your left shoulder grounded. Good. So left elbow down and lower down. Drop your right elbow, tent your left fingers, lift your left elbow, and lift your gaze to the left, push up. Good, lower all the way back down. Push your hands right by your rib cage, so drawing them back, and see if you can push yourself all the way up into an upward facing dog. If that doesn't feel right for you, then just go a little lower, just lifting your chest to cobra here, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Your hands need to be back in order to be able to lift all the way up. All right, good. And from your upward facing dog, tuck your toes, lift your knees, push your hips back, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. All right, we're gonna make our way to our back. You can come to your hands and knees and then just roll over, or try to take a little hop to the top of your mat, cross your ankles, and then sit down. So that's like, there we go. Everybody roll on back, go on back. Oh. Reclined pigeon on the right. So both feet on the mat, knees are bent. Take your right foot up towards the sky to start. So right leg straight up. And then bend your knee, bring your right ankle purposefully onto your left thigh. And the higher up your ankle, the less opening you're going to get through the hips. So maybe you can bring that ankle really kind of squarely into the mid thigh, right? So it's like more in the middle of my left leg as opposed to up here at the knee. Now take your right hand, push your thigh gently away on the right. Maybe your left hand can anchor to your left foot. If not, just let that hand maybe rest on the floor. Good. If you've got that outer right ankle, mid thigh, see if you can keep this figure four square and lift your left thigh up off the floor and find that space where you grab behind your left leg. So pretty significant difference if you have your foot just resting up here at your knee versus if you're bringing that foot down. Think about like when we did tree pose, right? You're trying to get that knee away. So that's your hip opening right there. All right, taking some time reaching behind your left thigh. Some of you might feel better with a straight leg. Some of you might want a bent leg. Just keep your left foot alive. Don't let it just dangle on the end of the line there. Keep your left foot engaged. Everybody looks good. And use your arms to pull towards your chest. So we're not just in a static place, we're in a stretching place. We're in a dynamic place where you're trying to just gently, gently, gently move your thigh towards your body. Good. All right, friends, let that go. Unwind your right foot. Switch sides. Start by taking your left leg straight up to the sky. And bend your left knee. Guide your left outer ankle into your right thigh. And again, you could, like, there's an opportunity to really bring that mid thigh and then take your hand and push your left knee away. Maybe anchoring your right hand on your left foot. Breathing here. Pushing your leg away, and then when you're ready, you have the option to lift your right thigh, anchor your hands there, but keep that integration. I want you to feel the opening and stretch, a little bit of awareness and sensation that's happening in your left hip. Some of you might like your right leg to be straight. Some of you might like it to be bent. Everybody has an awake foot. And you're pulling your right thigh towards you. So you're not just kind of hanging here, you're bending your elbows, using some strength, pulling, feeling that it's each little millimeter you get closer, it changes the way you feel in your left hip. And this is your opportunity to take a big breath in and a big breath out. Let that foot go. Let your thigh go. Uncross your knees. Take both feet to the floor. If it feels right, windshield wiper your knees and then set yourself up for your final rest. Might be nice to take your legs up the wall if you have that option, or put them on the edge of your couch or something like that. You have time, or just take a moment and put your hands out to the edges of your mat. Good, I see some of you elevate your hips in order to take that waterfall. That's nice. Take your breath. Let everything settle. O hushed October morning mild, thy leaves have ripened to the fall. Tomorrow's wind, if it be wild, should waste them all. The crows above the forest call, tomorrow they may form and go. O hushed October morning mild, begin the hours of this day slow. Make the day seem to us less brief, hearts not averse to being beguiled. Beguile us in the way you know. Release one leaf at break of day, at noon release another leaf, one from our trees, one far away. Retard the sun with gentle mist, enchant the land with amethyst. Slow, slow, for the grapes' sake, if they were all, whose leaves already are burnt with frost, whose clustered fruit must else be lost, for the grapes' sake along the wall. October by Robert Frost. Bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your body, and make your way over to a sideline position and eventually up to a seat, bringing your hands together at heart center. Let's begin each day, each month with gratitude. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.